Hello everyone, Jeanette here with Bikini Pro News. Today we're interviewing 4th place in the world and 3rd place in the Arnold Classic on her road to the Olympia stage, Casey Samsel. How you feeling, girl?
So good, rounding the corner, just about there, baby.
So how's this prep been doing from the last prep?
This prep was totally different, and it was actually something that I really thoroughly enjoyed. The approach was a little bit different, the food was a little bit different. My body seemed to really favor this method, and I've got a lot of incredible, actually noticeable results from whatever me and Dan Esslinger have been doing these past 8 weeks. It's been tremendous, and I'm having such a good time doing it. There hasn't been too many down days.
That's beautiful. So let's take it back to 2016. That was your first Olympia. You came in 16th place, and I know you were doing that same year a lot of shows, placing top 10. How did you feel when you came into your first Olympia? Even though you placed 16th place, how did that feel your first time on that stage?
Well, I had worked so hard, through the whole year, and had really, got my feet wet tons of times in preparation to handle all of the eyes looking at me, trying to make everything perfect, and trying to really get my show resume up, and to prepare myself for that moment. But when I got on stage, it was like, it was just kind of like I was meant to be there. It was so neat, and I just felt so at home. I felt so good. You did the little dance, and you walk off stage, and you hope for the best, and you hope that the judges really liked what they saw. So going into, this Olympia this year with, last year placing 4th and the year before not placing at all, it's remarkable because so much has changed since the first time I got on the Olympia stage, and it's just so, there's a golden moment in every show that you enter at this point. So we'll see how it turns out this year. Definitely.
No, that was a huge placing from 16th to 4th place. That was beautiful. Congratulations again on that win. And then right after Olympia, you took a small break, and then you went into the Arnold Classic, placing 3rd place, correct?
Yeah.
And how did you feel? Like, was that already planned that you were going to go into the Arnold, or did it happen, that decision, right after you stepped off stage of the Olympia?
Well, there's a little backstory to that. After my first Olympia in 2016, I wanted to apply for the Arnold. The plan was to apply for the 2017 Arnold Classic and Bikini International, and then I got really sick for about 2 months, from like November to December, so it was really hard to not send in, a letter of recommendation or trying to reach out and get involved in the Arnold Classic. It was kind of heartbreaking, but I did end up being able to turn that around and go, right into the next year and do some really good things at the shows that I actually did. I did 5 shows in 2017 and placed 2nd. I tied for 1st in some of them, but came out in 2nd, and then I ended up going to the Olympia and getting 4th place. So that was a really, really cool year for me.
Yeah, that was very nice. After all the hard work, it pays off. And
yeah, it
tell
really
us,
does.
right after the Arnold, then you haven't done any shows, so you just been mainly focusing on the Olympia this year, correct?
Yepper.
And how's been your training? Is your training any different from last year?
It's a lot more intense, and to tell you, I have been, it's nothing short of amazing. I've been needing something. I've been needing a switch. They say in order to change, you have to be changed. You've got to embrace it. You've got to push back to your limits. You've got to, put yourself out there, risk a little bit more. So I know, like, I've got a couple injuries going on, but with this being one of the biggest shows of my life, and there's a little bit on the line here. I really want to do well this year. So to be able to step my game up and feel like I really actually have stepped my game up in order to better myself, in order to please what the judges are looking for, and to feel good myself is huge.
No, I bet. And it's the Olympia stage, so that's amazing. Now, I know you're also engaged, so congratulations on that. You're getting married. When is it? Next
I'm
year?
actually married.
No way! Congratulations!
Yeah, we eloped in April, but we're doing everything in October. So that's something that I really, really, really am looking forward to after the Olympia as well.
So now that we're touching that subject, after the Olympia, you're focusing just then on the wedding, or are you planning on doing a show around that time?
It really depends, you know. I mean, I have time to do a show before the wedding, but we'll see what happens.
Awesome, perfect. So, if you take the Miss Bikini Olympia title this year, tell us, with your smile, I can, you don't have to say anything, but tell us, there's no words to explain it, I can imagine, but what will you do, like in the sense of, where you take some time off, where you just, like, what will you do for the sport if you take that title?
Taking that title would mean that there's no time off. I would continue to do exactly what I, try to do every single day that I get up. And with the opportunity of being Miss Bikini Olympia, I would have a much bigger platform to do what I love, and to do, and to inspire, to motivate, to reach more people, to reach men and women, because we have our following on Instagram, we have our supporters, we have our fans, we have our family, I have my team of girls, but I'm telling you, to have a platform that big and to be able to reach more people is going to be so incredible.
No, and
I cannot wait for that moment. I cannot, we can only prepare ourselves for so much.
Of course.
We'll see how it happens.
And I know there's no words to explain once they call your name for that title. It's just that moment, you just need to embrace it. So it's going to be very beautiful. So you mentioned your girls. I know you do your coaching and all that aside, but how do you manage, like, tell us, with your husband, with your personal life, training your girls, and prepping for the Olympia? How?
I'm a very inspired, deep feeling human being. So when I put my mind to something, it will get done. I wouldn't take on all of these projects if I didn't think that I was capable of doing them all.
Of course.
And to have Oscar as my husband, to know that he's going to be by my side for the rest of my life, just shows that I'm going to have the most incredible support and backbone that I could possibly have in order to accomplish all of these things.
That's
so my focus next year is to not only try to obtain, a bigger platform to do what I love, but also to grow Team Casey.
Of course.
So then that way they can also inspire thousands of people.
So Casey, you mentioned you have a coach. So would you like to speak a little bit about your experience with him? Has he been your coach for this whole time, as when you started your career as a bikini competitor or as a pro?
Yay, this is such a good question. So when I started out, I had lived in Newark, New Jersey, up in the Northeast area, and I was just constantly going to the gym and, just trying to get strong and be more shapely and, just trying to take up my time with something that was healthy and good, make good habits. And I ended up actually getting approached and asked if I was a bikini competitor, and I had no idea what that meant at the time. This was back in 2013. I entered my first show. It was the NPC Garden States. It was in New Jersey somewhere. But I ended up getting first place in novice. And that day was so remarkable for me, because that day was the day that changed my entire life.
Nice.
It's the reason that I'm here today, and there was a couple things that could have even held me back from doing anything that day, even stepping on stage. Just a couple fears and manifestations going on in my head. So to be able to say that I actually got out there and I did it, and I got first place and I got the ball rolling, is really totally cool. I coached myself into that.
Nice.
And then I continued to coach myself all the way up to my overall award at the East Coast Championships in 2013. Following year, I was still coaching myself, coached myself to my pro card that I got at North Americans in 2014. I also competed at Team U that year and got 6th, and then jumped up to 1st at North Americans for my pro card. Right after that, I hired a coach His name is Adam Atkinson. He is See You Later Leaner. And he taught me everything I know about being a good coach, about, you know, being able to teach myself how to coach myself more. So I worked with him for 3 shows, 3 of my first pro shows. I believe it was, I was down in Dallas, and then I was in Pittsburgh and New York. I believe those are the shows, and maybe the Prestige Crystal Cup at one point. And then after that, I just took the reins, and I actually coached myself all the way to my first Bikini Olympia.
Oh, wow.
So 2015, yeah, it was all me. I think that's why I was such a fireball that year, because I had a lot to prove to myself. So I just kind of just kept crushing it, you know. And then after that, I had that sickness, like I said, in November, December. So I was looking for a knowledgeable coach that could not only help me help myself with that, but also my team was growing. My team Casey was growing, and they're one of my main focuses too. So when I was doing that, I wanted to make sure that I could put all of my attention on them while somebody was putting all of their attention on me.
Of course.
Meanwhile, I'm busting my butt in both directions. So I hired Kim Odo, and I really enjoyed working with him. I worked with him all last year and into the Bikini Olympia, where I got 4th.
Okay.
We kind of did, you know, we worked together going into the Arnold, and we did really well at the Arnolds. And then I needed to look for a change. Of
course.
Because what the judges were looking for was not what I was bringing at the time. So I wanted to evolve, and I wanted a challenge, and I wanted something different. And from the years of coaching myself, I kind of knew what I wanted, and I definitely knew what I needed to do in order to give myself the best opportunity at being the best in the world. So I coached myself for a couple weeks. I hired Dan Esslinger from D4 Muscle Fit for this prep, and it's just been, we've been going with flying colors. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's so cool to see my body transform in such a short amount of time. So I can tell that I made the right decision in choosing a different method and a different strategy, because that's exactly what I needed to bring something new to this Bikini Olympia. No,
definitely. It was, first of all, impressive that you have done many shows by yourself with no coach whatsoever, because getting into sport, I myself an NPC competitor, and I've competed a few times, and it's hard, you know, even with a coach. So I mean, that's amazing. And sometimes
it was a really, really awesome learning experience.
No, I bet it is. You know, that's beautiful, and that you can also transmit to your girls, right? And another thing too, it's sometimes, like I said, it's not the coach or it's not the sport itself. Sometimes our body needs that change. So that's good that you made that decision of changing just because you felt you needed that change, and you're doing amazing. So you're looking great, girl. So
thank you.
Amazing work. And to wrap up this interview, is there anything you want to say to your followers, your fans, anybody following us on Bikini Pro News that is your #1 fan? Because as you can see, those votes said a lot about winning that Olympia title this year. So anything you want to say to them?
I definitely want to make sure that everybody knows that the support and the love this year, the recognition that I'm getting this year has been so heart fulfilling. And it's so motivating, because this has been the hardest prep that I've ever done. Most challenging, most intense, and different, and changes are always happening. So it's definitely one of the tougher preps that I've ever done. So to have all this support and this love, and it just means so much to an athlete to be able to carry on every day, knowing that you guys are always constantly pushing me to my end goal, you know. And I hope that I am also doing the same for you. I hope that everybody else can see that I'm constantly living every day trying to inspire and trying to motivate and trying to make sure that nobody is giving up on their goals. If there's one thing I can tell you that I am so thankful for, I am so thankful that I never gave up.
Beautiful.
For 1 second. So it's a day in, day out type of thing. So my best advice is just keep going.
Definitely.
You'll get there.
And you're doing amazing, so you're leading by example. So we want to thank you, Casey, for giving us the opportunity to interview you, because I know your schedule is pretty tight. So thank you so much.
Hey, yours too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you girls, honestly. And honestly, I look forward to see you at the Olympia. So guys, we wrap this up with Casey Samsel, and we wish you nothing but the best on your road to the Olympia this year, okay? Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you.